lead, which is I like pretended that I was union, and you have to. It was a pilot called Century City with Hector Elizondo and Johan Griffith, and I got there and they were like, "So you're union?" I'm like, "Of course I'm union. Yeah, absolutely I'm union." And then I wasn't. And casting to this day, those.
Hello, my beautiful people. These are all my thoughts and opinions based on information out in the public domain. Please do your own research. Search whatever information you may have. It's always nice to have information shared. Okay, so let's get started with this video. And don't forget that these are my opinions and my thoughts. Okay, I thought I'd share my coffee with you today. I'm not very proud of what I'm about to say. Actually, I do care, but actually it's a show that everybody watches. I was watching Kardashians, you know, the Kardashian show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, an episode in season 8 or 7, when Kim is pregnant with her first child, and then Scott Disick comes over to help her with the stroller, you know, assemble the stroller. And then she asked Scott to take a picture of her with the stroller, with the color of the stroller. And then he asked him why. And she goes, well, because Kanye and I want to coordinate the color of the stroller to the color of the skin of the new baby. We're wondering what color the baby's going to be. And Scott goes, well, it's going to be black. And she's going to be black. And she goes, well, yeah, but we don't know what shade of black she's going to be. And we just want to color coordinate things. That absolutely brought home to me, you know, the claims that Meghan went on to Oprah, excuse me, to say, oh, conversations were had while I was pregnant about the skin color of the baby. And Oprah going, what? As though it is something that is not a normal conversation. I mean, everybody has that conversation. But so when people tell me that Oprah, because I've gotten quite a few emails defending Oprah. When people tell me that Oprah's agenda was not to demonize the royal family, I call BS on that. Because she clearly has an agenda. She clearly has an agenda. For all of you who are there, you may not know about this because it was actually kept hush-hush. I don't know what's happened after that. But Oprah, the newspapers in the UK wanted to sue CBS for cropping false headlines to make them look racist when they were praising Meghan Markle. But she went to that extent. This is how little of journalistic integrity Oprah has and how clear her agenda is on demonizing the royal family. I think that most of it comes from the fact that she's envious of their privilege and their position, and she wishes she was there because, oh my God, she looked like a peacock. I'm going to the royal wedding. Remember Oprah? She looked so ugly. I'm sorry, she did. And ridiculous too, pretending to be something she's not. So there's nothing. And I'm going to tell you something else because I found out about it. There was even one of the little roles that Meghan played. She played the daughter of 2 white folks. That's how much of a Caucasian she is. And at the beginning, when she moved to California, Kim Kardashian had posted on Instagram something about princess marrying a commoner or a prince marrying a commoner. And Meghan apparently got in touch with her and said, hey, you're trying to plagiarize me or something like that. Yes. Why is it that Meghan doesn't want anybody talking about her brand or trashing her brand? Because keep in mind that all of this press control is to keep her brand looking great. Oh, you can't talk bad about me while she goes and trashes everybody else. Because that is her brand. If you look at it, she wants only positive good news. She wants all her lies ignored, all her very public lies ignored. And the reason why these lies can't be ignored is because these lies affect the reputation of other people in other institutions. Most of them her family. Because if you look at it, she's trashing her own family and her husband's family. Now, many of you have said to me that she slept her way to the top. No, she slept her way to the bottom, because this is just temporary. If you look at this now, Kim Kardashian wants nothing to do with her. She is toxic. She's not famous. She's notorious, there's a big difference between being famous, infamous, and notorious. Meghan Markle is notorious. Again, the problem that and she didn't sleep her way to the top. She slept her way to the sixth in line to a throne, a minor royal who now is on the brink of losing the titles, or at least having them stopped. I have a friend of mine who works in the House of Lords, and apparently because they are concerned of the Queen's health. When many of you don't know that when the Queen dies, I hope it's not for a long time, everybody moves up. So Harry goes from being the sixth in line to the throne to the fifth in line to the throne. Now, if Prince Charles abdicate in favor of Prince William, then Harry moves up to the fourth in line to the throne. So apparently they are working at the House of Lords with Buckingham Palace, but the problem that they're having is that they're getting a lot of resistance from Buckingham Palace, because Parliament wants to pass a code of conduct or usage of royal titles. And some of that actually involves what I've been talking about, which is that the royal titles cannot be used there's actually, so you know, an act of Parliament, which is I think it's called I've talked about it, which is Cash for Honors Act or something like that, which makes it a criminal offense to trade in titles or job positions or honors. It is a criminal act. And if you really go by the definition of that, Harry and Meghan Markle, Prince Andrew, Prince Charles are all guilty of that and should be in jail. I know many of you who are Prince Charles big fans write to me about it, and I respect your opinion. But if you were cold-hearted and you actually saw the things that he's doing, this is why he can't throw a stone at Meghan Markle and Harry, because he has a huge house made out of glass. And very thin glass, which is worse. It's not even thick glass. You know that sometimes you can throw a stone, and if the glass is thick enough, it won't do anything to it. You know, you have to throw many stones. His house is made of such thin glass that it doesn't even have to be a stone. It can only be a pebble to break it all down. So Meghan hasn't slept her way to the top. She's actually slept her way to the bottom. Everything she has been because she slept her way to it. You know what I mean? And the sad part of it all is that she has not made anything positive of it. She reaches a stage, but instead of making something of it, she destroys it to the point that she burns every bridge. Every bridge she's burnt. Now, if this case goes to trial, which it should, you know, many people have said that in the copyright, A&L won't win. Actually, the self-defense and the right of reply supersedes the copyright. If the court finds that Mr. Markle needed to present that letter in order to defend himself, then the copyright is gone, because he had a right to defend himself in regards to all the articles that were being published around the letter. I just want to say something very quickly too, because I have received quite a few emails on this matter. The BBC is being very dishonest because they said we gave Buckingham Palace a right of reply, but they didn't tell Buckingham Palace what they were replying to. So that is deceitful, because if they reply something, because they asked, what do you want us to reply to? Because if I ask you guys, you have a right to reply about an article I'm making about you, and you say to me, okay, what's the article about? And I tell you, I'm not going to tell you, but you have a right of reply. Do you understand that? you will say to me, what the fuck? I'm sorry, I'm going to swear. What the fuck are you talking about? So what am I going to reply to? So even though technically they said you have a right to reply to a documentary we're doing, when the royal family asked, what's the documentary about? They kept it too vague for them to give a proper answer. And Buckingham Palace knows that whatever they respond has repercussions. Whenever somebody who's a public figure goes out and speaks, it has repercussions. So for those of you, all of those articles, all of those interviews that you saw in part 1 were made in 2019, 2020. Even Dan Wooden said yesterday when he did his live that it would have been nice if they had been called back after the scandal of the BBC with the Princess Diana happened, and after the perjury claims after Meghan Markle was shown to have committed perjury on trial. And also because during the trial, it showed that the only people who were communicating with reporters and others were Harry and Meghan Markle. Now, I don't want to make it too long. It is what it is. Samantha is thinking of suing, but it is very expensive. She is ill. I sometimes feel like starting a GoFundMe to help her out, but I don't want people to accuse me of of keeping the money or whatever. So please keep that in mind. This is a woman who loved her sister, who was there for her sister, who has always been kind to her sister, who made a lot of her life in spite of her limitations. And she made her limitations work for her, not stop her from achieving what she wanted to achieve. So can you imagine when you have somebody, because Meghan Markle, she has never used whatever platform she gets to do something good. It has always been something good for her. You know what I mean? I don't have a problem, and I repeat myself here, I don't have a problem with Meghan Markle going to Oprah and doing everything. I don't have a problem with Meghan Markle. If you look at the Ellen interview, by the way, every time Ellen says, Meghan is writing the book as the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan laughs because she thinks it's funny. Now, she hasn't earned this title. Harry hasn't earned the title. It was a gift. Now, I want to clarify something because people are going around saying, oh, well, Meghan says that she's entitled to use the title, so why not use it? Okay. She's not entitled to use the title. She has been given the courtesy to use it. Okay? Let me give you an example. The Duke of Windsor married Wallis Simpson. Is that? I think, I don't know if it's Simpson. I can't remember. The lady I'm talking about. The biggest beef that the Duke of Windsor had was that his wife could not use the HRH title. Because he kept going, she's entitled to use it. And he was reminded by Parliament and the royal family that all gifts, all royal titles and privileges are at the mercy of the monarch. And the monarch can limit what is done with any of those titles. This is why the Duchess of Windsor was not allowed to use the HRH, particularly because she was not a royal. Now, again, Oprah is a racist, dishonest, criminal person, in my opinion. She's done quite a few things that are very shady and criminal, in my personal opinion, obviously. That issue with the African school, and now how everything is hush-hush, her friendships with Harvey Weinstein and the claims around that she used to sort of introduce him to really starving starlets. There's a lot of things that are shady. This is a woman who incited to violence, to kill old white people. You know what? I have friends of mine that call me names, but not bad names, and I call them too, you know, some of them are Asian, you know, they make fun of me being Latino, and I make fun of them being Asian, you know. I even have Black friends that we make fun of each other, you know. And it's not racist, because it's not, now everything is offensive. I can guarantee you that that episode of Kim Kardashian would not be allowed to be made in today's climate, because you're not even allowed to question what your baby's going to look like, what the skin color of the baby is going to be, because apparently Oprah demonized that to the point that you can even wonder the color of your eyes of the baby, because that is terrible. So, and which is BS. So please be aware that this documentary was made in 2019, 2020, and it's going to be interesting. And this is why it's so offensive for the royal family. I hope the Queen removes the royal charter and sends them all to hell. And from what it seems from the House of Lords, they're urging the royal Buckingham Palace to work with them in basically establishing rules of usage and engagement for royal titles and for royals who are not working for the royal family. There is resistance from Buckingham Palace, but they are working on it. So I will ask you all, my beautiful people, go to the Twitter account and Instagram accounts of Kensington Royal, Clarence House, and the royal family, because there are 3 households, right? And post there every day that you respectfully ask the Queen to remove Harry from the royal website, and to issue a letters patents banning him from using all royal titles in public except for official royal engagements in the UK, and that he should be known as Henry Wales or Henry Windsor Mountbatten or whatever he wants to call. Okay, so please do that and make it very public. Do it respectfully, but do that every day. Also to UK Parliament and Boris Johnson or 10 Downing Street, whatever. Do that in public. Don't send them letters. Don't send them emails, because they just file them away. So do it on their own public platforms, because what they will have to do is shut down the comment section. And then if they shut down the comment section, you will know that they are being affected by it. So if they shut down the comment sections, post your tweets and tag them, include them. UK Parliament, Clarence House, Kensington Palace. That's how we're going to get our voices heard, by using their own public platforms. So Kim, if Kim could talk about her skin color and the children's skin color without being a big issue, why did Oprah? And by the way, there's some shows, I don't have the time to post them here, but a very long time ago, there were some shows that Oprah had people who were interracial. Like, are you wondering what the baby's going to look like? Who do you think is going to look like, you or your wife? And yet she's demonizing the royal family for a conversation, which did not involve the child's skin color, by the way. It involved Meghan's character, because she is trashing the royal family. She's using the titles that she says are from an abusive institution, while protecting her brand. Because the reason, again, I repeat myself, they want to control the press is because she wants her brand to be seen in a certain way. Yet she doesn't have that same care for other people's brands or reputations. Okay, look how quickly she takes people to court. So why are we not calling her out on it? You know what I mean? And also, the Ellen show was filmed right around the time, because many of you have said Ellen doesn't talk. To be fair, Ellen doesn't talk about the court or anything. Trust me, Ellen was making fun of her. And if the court thing had been out, she would have made fun of her somehow. So that interview was filmed around the time that she did the New York Times thing, the online thing. This is why this is not mentioned. So please share, go to the Twitter and Instagram accounts of the people, and make your voice respectfully be heard. Okay, and please share, and subscribe my videos. And I'm so looking forward to doing the live tomorrow. And don't forget, also go to the BBC Twitter and Instagram account and call their shit out. Call them liars, because they should have put a disclaimer in the first documentary, in the first part of the documentary, saying that these interviews were filmed in 2019, 2020, prior to the BBC scandal on Princess Diana and the evidence that came out at trial. They didn't do that, did they? This is all to mislead the people into thinking that this is current and this is what the reporters are saying now, which is why you have the reporters now talking out against it and making sure that they say it was a year and a half ago or whatever. So thank you again for watching, guys, and you have a lovely, lovely day.